So now that we've understood in terms of the different ways we can actually put the foils in terms of stitches versus slices, and those placements in terms of horizontal, vertical, and diagonal, it's now understanding the head form in terms of where we place those foils. And through the many years of experience that I've had, I've been training color for the last 18 years. For me, it's really, really important for us to understand the head form and come up with a placement strategy that is really simple and easy. That's not just going to give us the most impact, but it's also going to involve us getting the best result with the minimal amount of work. And I think for us, clients are all really appreciative of the fact if we can give them the result that they're looking for in a shorter time frame these days, it'll give us the ability to keep a client really, really happy with a maximum result. So the first thing for me that we have a look at with regards to understanding the shape of the head is finding the highest point of the head. By finding the highest point of the head, the easiest trick to do is to take your tail comb and lay that on the top of the client's head. Where it touches the client's head, that is going to give us the highest point, and what that will do is it'll separate that head into the front and back sections. Looking at it from the top, that is what it's going to do for us. It separates that hair into the front and the back. And the great thing is, because it's the highest point of the head, anything to the back of it will fall backwards, anything in front of that will fall to the front. The second thing we're going to do once we've done the front to back is do left to right, and we'll isolate that from the point of the nose, and we'll take that through and separate that. And I like to call this the hot cross bun section because it gives us left and right, front and back. Visually from the back, this is what it'll look like in terms of separating that. And that hot cross bun section for us will give us the easiest way of separating the head. Now what we want to do is have a look at creating 4 triangles. 4 triangles together will create a square for us. So if we do that, there is my first triangle that I'm going to create. Can you see the triangle there?
Yeah.
Second triangle will be in there. Third triangle will be there. And the last triangle will complete that section on the top. That small section on the top, when let go, will cover the client's head completely. So with minimum effort, you're going to create maximum results. That little area over there, you'll get on average between 8 to 10 foils in maximum. Visually from the side, it's this section that we'll be looking at. And from the back, that is what it's going to look like. The last step that we do in terms of this is isolating the fringe area, and from there we'll go halfway between the 2 front triangles and connect that to the corner of the eye.
And does this placement have any disconnection point?
The great thing there with a disconnection point is if your client has a lot of hair, what you may want to do is add a couple of extra foils in the back area there. The biggest thing we find when we're doing foils is we end up doing way too many foils and undercharging. So traditionally when we do a half head of foils, we literally do the sides, we do the top, we do halfway down to just above the occipital bone, and then we do a couple of ones at the back.
Yeah.
We only leave that little area out there and we charge that for a half head. By following this sectioning pattern, we're literally going to complete the front and the back 2 triangles, because all of that hair is going to fall down. The disconnection point would be there, and if you felt like putting 1 or 2 extra foils in, there's nothing stopping you from doing it down there. If your client wears their hair back and up and in a ponytail, you can put 1 or 2 foils down at the bottom here on the hairline to create that illusion that when they pull their hair up, they've got that veil of color at the back coming through. Remember we discussed horizontal, vertical, and diagonal.
Yep.
Diagonal is the one that gives you the best ability to get the softest result in. So if we go ahead now, and I'm going to foil in red, this is basically going to be our diagonal. And the great thing with this sectioning pattern, that's the piece in the front there for you. The great thing with this sectioning pattern is no matter where you work on the head, you have a guideline because of your sectioning pattern. So when we're working in the front, can you see that angle there?
Yeah.
There is your perfect foil placement on a diagonal that you've got a guideline to work with.
And with your sectioning,
Yep.
would it depend on the client's natural form?
The great thing with this is, and that is a brilliant question, the great thing with this is if we're going to go in and we're going to do our diagonals. So I'm just going to complete what you've seen here on the side. Those are those two same sections. The front piece here, that top piece, it doesn't matter whether you work that way on a diagonal or that way on the diagonal. If we go in and let's just say do this as my foil placement going in, it doesn't matter where your client parts their hairline. You can move it straight down the middle, you can change it to over the left eye, you can change it to over the right eye. There is no starting point or end point. So for your clients that are looking to move their hair a lot, this sectioning pattern really gives you the ability to create a seamless look without having a start or a stop point. Traditionally, we always we'll find the exact part line and then we work on either side of it. And sometimes there, when the client just misses their part line, the foil placement looks a little off. By doing it this way, every single foil placement that you put in here is on a diagonal. And what's going to happen is your client is not going to have any start or stop line anywhere on the head, no matter how they part their hair. Fail safe, super quick, super easy, and gives you maximum results with minimum work.